I just sat down the other day and just kind of reflecting on just being grateful for things, but usually I'd be grateful for like possessions or material things that I might have, but very rarely that I actually am grateful towards things that I have in my life that I was given. So not things that I actually got, like not material things, not like things that I got, but more so that I was just inherently just adopted with. And I think you could understand this because if you watch my videos and you implement these things that I like to talk about, I didn't invent them, no, but they're just things that I like to talk about. And the main thing is being able to stay super positive and optimistic at all times. And I was just grateful for, being able to stay in an optimistic state at all times, even when things are hard, even when things don't go to plan. And I didn't really even think of it. I just thought maybe like it's quite common, but it really isn't common. Like it's almost to the point where it could be borderline delusional. But you know what? It's got me by. It's got me by so far. So I'm gonna stick with it. And even today, like I noticed like there was just a lot of hectic things, and and I was, even though those things were quite hectic, and someone came up to me and just said like, "Damn, like you can stay so calm and positive." It kind of hit me like, oh damn, yeah, like maybe I can. Honestly, like it's mostly to do with just me being able to have or adopt and keep and maintain a frame of mind where it's a growth mindset. And it's something that I like. If someone was to ask me like, yo, like if I could have just one power, what would it be? And for me, it's simply just one answer, and it's a growth mindset. Because with a growth mindset, you can never fail, because you see everything as an opportunity. You see everything like that goes well. If something goes well for you, that's great. You should embrace that. You should be proud of that, whatever. But at the same time, you're never complacent. You want something better. You want something else, and it's not the attachment, because I think if you're attached to that, in the sense like, let's say I get the new iPhone, the next time, oh man, all I can think about is the other new iPhone that's about to come out, then I'm attached and I feel miserable by that. It's not that, but it's just the hunger to try find another way where, you know what, it's actually better if I go for this one. So it's the constant need to wanting to improve, right? It's the want that you want. It's the want that really drives you. And it's difficult because like, I don't know whether this is because of my current environment or whether it's just because of my age group. I don't know, but it's extremely not rare, but uncommon, I would say, to just kind of meet someone that really, has that level of a growth mindset. It's hard to find someone, and I'm not trying to say like I'm not tooting my own horn or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, it's hard to find just someone that can share a growth mindset. Because whenever I have conversations with most of the people that I know, that I meet, I just don't get to have these conversations. The conversations I'm having in my car, I don't get to have in real life. And believe me, I've tried. I've tried having like positive and kind of, oh, like this is almost like self-development kind of conversations, but it's just normally uninteresting or kind of boring or whatever. And that's fine, that's fine. But, like, I'm sure it's the same for you. I'm sure, like, the reason maybe why you watch my content is because simply you're not able to speak about these things or even listen about these things with the current environment that you have, in the current environment you have. But what I want to basically make you understand is that don't let I know that an environment can play a major factor, and it can be an influence to the way you think, the way you act from your habits. An environment definitely shapes someone. So just don't fall in the trap where just because it's uncommon, or just because you might feel like a bit different, because you're not thinking the same way, or necessarily affect your habits. Because if you start letting that affect your habits, and you start adopting the kind of general sense of mind or whatever, and then it becomes a problem, because your productivity can be influenced quite significantly. So it might be a lonely road, and I actually fully acknowledge that it probably is a lonely road. You know what they say, like self-improvement itself is a lonely path, but it's one of those things that, like, it's so worth it in the end. It's so worth it in the end. I'm 24, right? I know that by the time I watch this, maybe in 10 years time, right, I'm going to be proud of myself for thinking like this. Like, I 100% know I'm going to be proud of myself. Right now, I feel like an alien, right? I feel like, listen, when I speak to people about these things and stuff, like, it's just not a common thing. And the only time I really feel connected, and I feel like, yo, like, this is, I understand, is when I listen to podcasts and I listen to people on YouTube who preach these kind of things. Being able to kind of grow in whichever situation you're in, having an optimistic mindset where, even if you're facing an adversity, you don't see it as adversity, you see it as an opportunity for growth. And it's got me so far. Like, honestly, like, if I'm being completely honest, I might have already had this within me, but I never implemented this, right? I never kind of like actually took action on this. And if I was to give you a specific date when I really took action on this, it would be September 2023. Like, yeah, I was talking about this, but like, when I started seeing proper results, when I gave 100% of effort into like all the things that I'm currently doing, then I started seeing like this, and the ROI here is kind of mad. Just don't stop. Like, whatever you do, just don't stop. That's the end game. Just don't stop.